Hey guys, it's Kenny, and in this video we're going to show you my aviary and everything I had to do to build it, and just tell you how much stuff was, my aviary and my massive pond inside of it, my big fish pond with an aviary over it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you haven't seen the last videos, you can see a lot of the fish got moved, so you're going to see where they went today. A lot of them got moved into the pond, like the Oscars. If you haven't seen the last video, go check it out. I talk about the fish tank and I find the stingray stinger. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get to it. So this is the aviary, guys. This has been my working dream and my project for, I don't know, the past year, and it's finally coming through. As you can see, there's that black stuff down on the side and the right where I just need to get some more rocks, and I'll show you that here in a second. I just like to admire it from this angle over here because you can see most of it and most of the pond. The pond is like 3.5 feet at the deepest points, and it is crystal clear. And I built all of this. It's all DIY projects. Bought the liner and built the filters and everything for this just out of stuff that I pretty much had collected or made up, kind of. So there's 2 parakeets in here. This is a massive aviary. As you can see, there's a point in the middle that's about 15 foot, the poster at 10 foot. I love the way it goes up in the middle, but as you can see, look, there's 2 little female blue parakeets. That's all I have right now. With this netting that I have, I can only do like parakeets and stuff like that. But as you can see over here, I'm almost done with the whole landscaping, everything. Just got some more rocks over here. But at first, I think I want to show you the actual aesthetic part of all of this, and then I can go down and explain how all of this works. So I actually have to go under the net here. Oh, my hat's getting caught. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut it right here because my hat's getting caught. But as you can see, this is their feeding station. I need to make a different one because I don't have an indoor area in the fish gallery, which is going to be the next video and the next project and probably the ongoing bunch of videos. But this is their feeding station for now, and there's another feeding station on a swing right out there, as you can see, for the parakeets. So this is my window. So you can see, I don't know if you can see my grandma, but the 1,000-gallon aquarium is right there. You can see it from here. This is my window to my tiny home. And this was actually very inexpensive, the net part. The net and posts and everything was very inexpensive. The pond, I couldn't tell you exactly how much I've spent. And I still need to get more rocks and different stuff that I want to do there, or in here. But I'll explain all the fish in here. Remember all the Oscars? The 8 Oscars are in here. Actually, the 2 Oscars that were in the tank in there came out here, and now that's a turtle tank. So something about ponds that you guys always want to know is the best thing you can do when you have shallower ponds is you really always need a shaded area pretty much 24/7. So I built this pond knowing my canopy, where my little porch is, which I'm cleaning some stuff, so there's stuff sitting there, shades this area right here. So that's a really good thing. So that's where my flow maker is, my 4,500 gallon per hour flow maker. So this was what keeps the pond cool enough. If it was just in the direct sun like all the rest of this, it would not stay cool at all. That's why a lot of fish hang out over here during the hottest part of the day, which would be right about now, because all of this is above a tree. It's actually all attached to a tree. That's how this is all hanging. So technically, if you wanted to do it a different way, you'd have to put a post outside, a higher post outside of it instead of it being attached to the tree like this one. But let's, before I start explaining too much, let's just look at everything. I love how you can just have the big allocation here, and all the different stuff you can have in here. They're like 9 foot in the air right now. That's Cloud, the white one, and that's Jewel. And I'm gonna get some more, I'm gonna get some males. It's a hide box I made up there. They have ropes hanging all the way down here. The net goes all the way out to this tree. Yeah, there's been a couple squirrel break-ins, so I've had to zip tie it. I recommend getting a hose reel. If you use hoses a lot, I use a hose constantly. That is like the most badass thing ever. But all of this, the birds can explore. It's attached to the top of my house and over there on the canopy. So I'll tell you some cool things about this aviary. This tree right here, it's gonna get way too big, and if you look it up, it's called a Jamaican cherry tree. It'll get way too big for in here. But I'm gonna chop it down and try to keep it really cut down because they have little tiny berries that taste like cotton candy that the birds are gonna love. This one here is a cherry I can't remember, it's like Barossa or something. Don't correct me on that if you want to. I can't remember exactly. Barossa or something with a B. This here is just a flowering tree, taboichi or taboicho, I don't know. But I'm just now getting into plants, guys. But I love the two, these are two fruiting trees. They both get like cherry-like little berries, and the birds love them and they eat them all the time, so it's really cool. All of these rocks I pretty much found, and some of them my dad bought me, and all these pavers that I just like had when I moved here. All right, I'm gonna start explaining some stuff about what's in the pond. All right, so there's an arowana, a silver arowana, just like the big one in there, but much smaller. I don't know if you can see him. Yep, much smaller. And the guy underneath him is a tiger. This is like the perfect day. Look how perfect the sun is going in. The tiger, that's a spotted tiger shovelnose Morocco cat hybrid. I have a tiger shovelnose too, which is my favorite catfish. The water almost looks shallow, it's so clear. And then I have a whole bunch of Oscars. I have like 8 Oscars and they breed like crazy. These two are breeding. There's a tiger and then an albino. It's kind of hard to see the tiger right there. And then I have African cichlids in here that are breeding as well. Those might, yeah, it looks like the bigger one's probably a male at this point. But got some more African cichlids in there. We have a lima shovelnose catfish down there, which is really cool. There's a huge Morocco catfish, which is really hard to see. I'm gonna try to get some videos tonight or something to go with this one, so that we can get some video of it. Oh, here is the tiger shovelnose, my favorite one. Look, ready. You guys want to see him? He's bit my finger really bad a bunch of times. Look, the Oscar's gonna get me. Hey, 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 hey. See his white whiskers, guys? Wow, he has like really beautiful stripes. Pretty big catfish too. Probably a 2.5 foot catfish. He'll go for it really fast too. Sorry about that, guys. The the catfish actually got my finger a little bit. The tiger shovelnose. And you can see the big Morocco cat down there. That guy's like 3.5 feet. Some people call him marble catfish. But look how gorgeous the water is when the sun's hitting it. This is the shaded area where all the catfish are and stuff. Look how beautiful. And I have all this aquatic plants and underwater grass, and all of it was free. I live at a big lake, and it's all just out there, and I just took some aquatic plants and put them in here, and they're doing amazing. Oh, my bad, guys. Look how beautiful. With all the Oscars in here. And the light is just perfect in the water right now. The water is just like crystal clear. And the arowana and tiger shovelnose hybrid. It's just amazing. See their nest they're making right here. See how they wallered out a spot on the liner. They're gonna have a bunch of Oscars in here. They keep having a bunch of babies. I have at least 3 pairs in here. I might have got lucky and have all 4 pairs. There's a big pink gourami in here. A bunch of African cichlids, as you can see. And then the reason why I can have so many fish in here, and it's so clear, as you can see, is this filter has a 9,000 per gallon hour pump. Right there in the water. There's just a pump that has a tube that comes up out of the water and goes to this container, right? This container has a hot tub heater on it. I will show it to you guys. You guys can look at it and then you can get it for yours. This container in here, so it doesn't get too wet, has a hot tub heater on it. So when it gets down to like 40, I feel comfortable that my pond, because this is rated for like a 700 gallon system, will be okay and still run well. I can't remember the exact name. I wish I could get some information on it right here. Maybe you can flip over the phone and get some information from this. I don't know. But it's a hot tub heater. That's what I recommend. You can see the top of it there. I have this holding it up. But just get a hot tub heater, whatever pump you want to do or whatever. It's pretty simple. Just get a hot tub heater, connect it to it, and it does take a lot of power. You have to connect it straight to an amp, but that's what you got to do when you want a pond this cool with this many exotic fish in it, and to make sure that it stays hot. And you know what? That whole thing, I don't even use it most of the year. I only use it a couple of months. This hasn't been on all year. But that's just for the couple of months where it gets a little cooler here, where I don't feel comfortable and I really want it to stay warm. So I got a big hot tub heater, which really makes it stay very warm. And all of this is connected to a is connected to a 150 gallon trough, or like Rubbermaid container. You can see the Rubbermaid on it right there. I cut off the top lip, so it's probably a little bit less than 150 gallons, but there's a PVC tube that's like a T that has a bunch of drilled holes through it and everything that the water is shooting through, a bunch of pea gravel, sand, lava rocks, and all that. And this one doesn't have any filter pads. There are no filter pads in this entire pond. It is this crystal clear, no filter pads, and I feed every other day like 10 shrimp to this pond. So it does get a pretty big bioload, and it has tons of mosquito fish and tons of shrimp in here that I got from the lake, and tons of crawdads. You can see this guy way over here with his nest. Isn't that really cool? It's in between all that where he has his nest. So I have some banana plants, and I'm starting a big area over here where there's a bunch of big elephant ears and big leaved stuff on this more shaded spot. This is the area where they eat from, right off my window, which is really cool, and drink, because usually they don't like to drink from the pond because they can see the fish and they're a little nervous of them. And they have another little feeding station right out there. But I need to get a bird cage in here, which that's going to be one of my projects on my videos for the parakeets and any other birds I want to get. And this is going to be the kind of the projects we're going to be doing in the videos coming up, is making this into the fish room and like reptile room and bird room. And then these guys can have somewhere to go at night, because I live so far out in the country that there are so many animals out here. As you can see, like there's no light, there's no even like light pollution. It's pitch black when it's out here at night. Owls and everything try to come out here and get these birds. Rats, I've had rats literally eat one of my birds before. I couldn't do anything about it. I woke up in the morning, I thought they would do fine in here in a tree and like a bird should, but I guess not. So all of the plants are automated on watering besides this one. So I'm watering this one right now, and it needs quite a bit of water. So all of these have a soaker hose going through all the way through here, all the way over here, all the way over here, all the way to there. So it goes pretty much all the way around it, and it soaks it every single day, automated on a timer. And then I have to do it kind of manually, but I make it rain every other day and give them a little extra water, which I noticed just doing it every other day or twice a week actually helps a lot. But if you do that every day, then it's a little bit too much water and they do bad. But that's what I do, and that's what fills up the pond every other day too, like because there's so much evaporation here. And the best way to keep your pond cool during the day is to run the flow higher at night, so that when it's nighttime, the flow can really drop all the temperature, so that your pond isn't just sitting at a high temperature. If you don't have really good flow in your pond, then your pond's going to get too hot, and you're not going to be able to keep these type of tropical fish in here. My pond already is pretty warm, like it's probably sitting at like 85 right now, but that's still okay. And I could say I'm probably the only person I've ever seen have a silver arowana outside in a pond. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't look at everything. I kind of want to know if anybody else, but I've never seen it before. But who knows how he does for the rest of the year. I kind of put him in here recently, like 6 months ago, but he's been doing good. But it's been pretty warm. Wow, the water's gorgeous. And yeah, I know I gave him a mouse and he kind of has, on the side of him, he's kind of bloated. He has a little bit of gas in him because I found some rats, and I decided, because I didn't know what to do with the babies, so I decided to make it more humane, and it wasn't me doing it, so I made it better instead of just having to euthanize them or something, actually giving it to an animal that could use it for their benefit. These rats are invasive all over the United States, everybody knows. But I think there are millions of baby Oscars in here too. I've seen a bunch of weird little cichlids all in here, but I wouldn't doubt it. So you can see there's a stepping stone here with this air plant that I just found out here while I was on a walk. I don't even know what it is, but I love it. Like I think it's like a big statement of the pond. It looks really cool. And then all this underwater grass, you can see there's a bunch of algae on it. Been getting a little bit warmer in the pond. Big thing with algae is if you're able to keep your pond cooler with a shaded area like this, then your pond will stay a lot less algified. Starts warming up, you start getting a lot more algae. I'm gonna come stroll over here. Let's look at these fish. Got this little U right here, and I built all of this. So I'll tell you, the liner was about $250, and you want to get the good one off of Amazon, not from Lowe's or Home Depot or anything like that. You want to get the good thick one that's a lot more thick, that's like EDM or whatever. And then I put the liner, actually the pond goes behind that container. I really can't get back there really easily while I'm recording, but the liner goes behind that container, and the container's just sitting inside of the pond in a big hole. And that's just a wetlands filter in a way. All that drains out of that area right there in the front. And it's essentially just a natural wetlands filter. And that's just how I did it. And that's just how I wanted to do it. And this is how I kind of came up with. There's tons of different ways people do it, but it was the easiest for me since it's a closed system, since the liner is going around the container. So it's just a lot easier for me. Most of the rocks I found and all the aquatic plants I found and put in here. All these plants over here, a lot of them I bought, like the purple flowering tree and the two cherry trees, two different types of cherry trees. But this aviary comes all the way up here, has a little canopy for them so that they don't get wet because it rains so much here. But yeah, that's pretty much the aviary. I'll explain a little bit more about the actual details now. So as I said, it's a 150-gallon container for the filter, like a horse trough container from Orscheln's, or wait, no, from Tractor Supply. So that was like $200. And then the tube that was connected to it, I think I bought way too inexpensive tube, but I was rushing, was like $200. The liner was like $250. And then my dad gave me some rocks in here that was like just like $200 worth of rocks. Let's think. And then the hot tub heater was, I think, about $450. And then just all the plants and everything is just added up so much. Like I did this brick wall, I had to drain it, and that was a huge project. I have videos of that I could maybe try to slip in here. They're not going to be the right angle or the right direction, but you know, it's better than nothing. As you can see, all the lily pads, everything I actually just took out of the lake where I live, and now they're just doing really well in here. I'm gonna come, I'll show you guys now what it looks like from the outside. The heater box, I'm about to get this all covered up. I'm actually building right there on the outside, maybe a rock that'll go over that, that'll look nice, and support it more. But I love the aviary. This has kind of been my dream. I do love the 1,000-gallon aquarium, but this is what I've been focused on lately. Really been focused on getting this done because I've really been wanting to do my YouTube journey. And I really wanted to YouTube, and I've watched so many animal YouTubers. Every time I listen to myself, it freaking sucks, but I'm gonna get better and better, guys. All right. You can see the tiger shovel nose right there. And this is where the flow maker is, like I said too. Now let's go to the outside of the aviary so I can show you it from the road. So I made all the view of the aviary more from my window. So I'm gonna go in there and I can do a video from my window too. And I'm gonna show you. But yeah, the aviary is really meant to, like, all the view is meant to be looked at from my window. But I'm gonna show you the view from over here. So it all angles down from this way. Technically, I just have some pieces of iron up here. When you see this, this I just found and it was at the house. These are little like joints to where you can like hang shelves and stuff. Get some of this and then you can zip tie it to all whatever you want to brace it to. So every single loop I have a zip tie, so every inch. So it is a shitload of zip ties all the way around. And this shit was badass to secure it. And then these things down here, I think these are little like metal, like, I don't even know, the metal like baseboard things that you put at the bottom of stuff, or like line pieces of wood with, and it just secured the net to it. Stapled the net to the tree, wasn't too hard. All of these ropes, I'll explain how I did all the ropes, are it's a frisbee in the middle, or technically a rubber plate or plastic plate with a bunch of holes drilled in it, and then wherever I wanted a rope to, I tied it to. So I have 3 posts, technically 4 if we're including the one over here, and it's all tied to this tree right here. This is what makes it work. So if you wanted to make it work, I was thinking I would have to put another post out here that kind of looked a little bit more ugly, that's in the way, just to hold up the middle if you want the middle to be a point, which I really wanted it to. But I did it with the tree and the top of the canopy. I put a piece of iron up there, and that's how I secured the top, so it wouldn't droop and stuff could fall down it. So I wanted stuff to be able to fall down it at an angle. And then all the ropes are just tied together, and it's kind of self-explanatory when you see it. It took a little bit of time to actually come up with. Me and my grandma came up with this, and yeah, everywhere I felt like I needed a rope, I put one. I could have put more, and then it could be like really secure, but I just did as many as I wanted to. You could put as many ropes as you want to as many places, and it could make it really secure. But that's how I really did that. But I'm gonna come back on from the inside over here, and there's gonna be a flower garden over here with tons of huge, beautiful flowers. It's gonna look amazing. I'm gonna make it look like a jungle. And then out over here, I'm gonna do some more cool stuff. And we're gonna get rid of this fence soon. And it's gonna, whenever we get rid of this fence, it'll expand. Whenever my really, really old dog that lives back there, he dies, he's like 15. But until then, we love him. But I'll show you a cool view from inside where the fish room is going to be, or like just the animal room, like the zoo room. This is inside the aviary, which is really cool. So the aviary is connected to all of this. This is a pretty nice room. I'm going to put concrete, on the next videos, I'm going to put concrete all over the floor, and we're going to concrete it all in and make it look nice. The 1,000-gallon aquarium is going to go on this wall. So we're going to have the huge tank out here. We're going to have fans in here and all different types of stuff, so it's like darker, and we can have tanks. We can have tanks all across here. We could have stuff all across here. I have a reptile cage. I think I want to do a bird cage here so that we can have some birds, and the parakeets can have a place to chill out at night and be safe, because it's really crazy here out in the middle of nowhere. Like, that's a big swamp right there. It's a beautiful scene across the aviary though. But look at this view, guys. I love this view. Isn't that gorgeous? All the plants are just starting to mature and do well. And this is what I've been working on so that I could get these videos out. And I know I'm not the best commentator and the best at explaining stuff, but I really want to be. You can see my little dog in the background. But if you guys have any questions, I'll answer any of them. I have tons of equipment in here that I can do tons of projects with, tons of filters, like filters to the brim. I've been collecting for years and years. I'm obsessed, guys. That's why I finally started to try to achieve my dreams of being a YouTuber and doing what I want, and maybe just having people enjoy what I do too, because I enjoy this so much. And if I can have some other people enjoy it with me, that would be amazing, because this is absolutely amazing. We can have a huge journey of buying tons of birds and just expanding, and this can be an amazing thing, you know. and I can help everybody else. Like, this is a very cheap project. The rope was $5 for 100 feet. I had to buy a couple of them or something. Like the posts were like, what, $30 a piece. I spent like $90 on the post. That's probably the most I spent on it. The net, guess how much the net was on Amazon, guys? $30. This is the cheap poultry net. I'm gonna upgrade it though. I want some bigger birds. If you just want parakeets and you're in the inner city, though, it'll work. But I mean, it'll work if it's this big. They haven't tried to get out. But if you're out in the country real far, the squirrels and everything will chew through it if they want to. So like if you're real far out here, like a lot of the other animals on the outside will chew from it. So this net's almost to keep the other animals from getting them more out here at least, guys. But it was so inexpensive. So $30 net, $90 on post, some concrete, a couple bags of concrete for the bottom of the post, a couple of baseboards that I got that were like 2x8s or whatever they are, all along the bottom. Yeah, really the most I spent on this pond, or this aviary and pond, and this is kind of like two big projects, is the rocks on right here are really expensive, like the plants are really expensive. This is really cheap. Like you can do this whole thing for like $350, $400, this whole aviary, this big, probably even bigger. Like this is really, really very, very inexpensive. Like it's all just ropes and some rope, some posts, some big eye loops at the top. And really that's it. You could drape it over anything, and like it's really cool design. Like you can go up here, and I have it with the carabinger hanging on that rope up with that iron thing. I even have my rain system up there. I can maybe show you a video here later with it raining real hard, which is really cool. I'm just like a little nerd about it for some reason. I love to see it rain in here real heavy because I got it raining heavy. But as you can see, it's going to be almost complete. The next video you'll see, it'll probably be complete. This whole project is almost done. I have some rocks I got to do over here. I got to cover up the container, maybe replace the container because it's kind of falling apart for the hot tub heater. And yeah, like that's pretty much the aviary, which I call the aviary, but there's another thing merged in the aviary is the pond. So this is like a 2-in-1. That's why this video is probably going to be very long. The white one's Cloud and the blue one's Jewel. They love to chew on the wood. I put wood that I cut and screwed it to the post all along these. Like there's that one, it's just like a little stick. And there's one on that one. I think it looks really cool. It makes the inside here look really natural, and it holds up the big piece of wood that they love to run across on these posts. And this here, you know, the log hides that are cut like a half log that everybody has from like the pet stores from back in the day. I just cut out some pieces of wood and built into a little box, put a hinge on it, and now it's a little bird box where they can breed. And it looks amazing. It looks like a hanging log. Drilled some holes and got some bamboo sticks that I had from my plants to hold them up, that I had left over, and just glued them in there, and it looks amazing, I think. And I have another one I'm gonna do too, that one of my friends gave me, the thing. So it's really hard to tell how big the aviary is over here. So it goes all the way over to these rocks, as you can see. But the rope right here, they love to come over and swing on this rope. They might even come over and do it since I'm right here. There's my uncle. Here's the aviary from the window. There's the feeding station. Maybe I'll get some videos of them eating here. Just a 1,000-gallon aquarium. You can see all the fish that we moved over. I just wanted to show you guys the rain system. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit me up and let me know what other video ideas I should do and what I should put in that shed and what I should maybe do to this. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Peace out.